Hey, everybody. Welcome to our initial episode, our Royal Rumble episode of the J Squared Bodyslams and Brews. I'm Jason Cheynoweth of the Nerd Gang, and on the show today, as always, with me will be Jason Bean.
What's up, everybody? How's your beer?
Fantastic.
Are you ready to rumble?
I got one of the most fattening beers made. I've been ready to rumble for weeks. I might be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I would hope so. So we're not really going to go into anything else but the Royal Rumble today. You just want to get going and start out with Sasha against Carmella with
Let's get after it.
Reginald, the guy that we can't say his what his title is, sommelier or whatever.
He's with
Reginald. All right, so what do you think? You got Sasha and Carmella.
I think it's a fantastic matchup. I mean, you got the boss woman. She might be a lot of things, but nasty's one of them. She's a great talent, as is Carmella. But in the end, I got to go with Carmella. I think she's going to win.
So you're picking Carmella tonight. Wow.
I'm picking Carmella.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. I truly wasn't. I think that this match is definitely not going to be anybody else's fault but Reginald's. Something off happens and Reginald interferes or tries to, and Sasha ends up winning so Carmella can save face for some kind of rematch. I don't think Carmella's that great of a worker or that great of a heel to beat Sasha Banks. I never have. I never will. She's a little bit like diet soda. She has all the flavor, but not all the ingredients. So I'm taking the boss. I think the boss definitely tears her apart. I think that.
Well, we shall see.
So we'll disagree to disagree.
Okay, how about the next match? You got Asuka and Charlotte versus Nia Jax and Shayna
Baszler. You want me to go first this time?
Go for it, man.
Awesome. So Asuka and Charlotte, I just think that there's way too much stuff going on for them to win this match. Asuka's a champion. Aside from being a tag team champion, they can now say that they were tag team champions. But I think Charlotte's got too many problems with Lacey Evans and her father. And I think Nia and Shayna need a place for WrestleMania. And I'm thinking that there's going to be some kind of upset. Again, it's going to be Nia and Shayna beating the champions.
I actually agree with you on that one. It doesn't seem to work out well when you're carrying multiple belts to promote the other storylines, and with as much talent as they have that they need to get ready for WrestleMania, I don't see Charlotte and Asuka walking away with the gold. So yeah, I'm gonna go with plus Nia Jax. I mean, come on, she is tremendous. She is a tremendous athlete.
Mm-hmm. And so is Shayna.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go with Nia and Shayna.
Yeah, I agree. Something has to happen here.
And it's not fair. We agree.
Now we're agreeing to agree. I don't think it's very fair that they're putting all this gold on Asuka and Charlotte. Charlotte won at the first match that she came back. You know what I mean? Like, she was hurt and had that surgery, and it's all well and good. She recorded a show or a movie. I can't remember what. Probably a show. But not that it's not fair. But to me, to set up more storylines and keep tradition of champions, it just needs to be that way. I just think Nia and Shayna have to win here, or they win tomorrow on Raw. I don't know, something, maybe something.
I think they walk away from the Rumble as champs.
I hope so. I do. I hope so. Even though I love Asuka and Charlotte Flair, I do. I love all the women right now. It's no secret. I feel like the women are doing a much better job than the men. And I think the storylines are better than the men. But we still have to watch the men. But it's more fun to watch the women right now.
Isn't it always? All right, you want to take us to our third match, or do you want me to take us to our third
No,
match?
absolutely. I don't mind. Drew McIntyre versus the legendary Bill Goldberg. So what are you thinking about that?
I'm torn on this. I've always liked Goldberg. I think he was brought up. I mean, he had an undefeated streak when he first started that was unmatched. I mean, he was an undefeated. Yeah, he was an undefeated champion. I mean,
do you remember when his streak ended? Who was how many did he get? 200 and some matches without a loss.
Yeah, he won more than the Mulkey brothers lost.
Yeah.
And then you have Drew McIntyre, which I absolutely love. Drew McIntyre. I love the Claymore. I think he is if I was going to build a prototypical wrestler, it would look like Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton, something of that build where they have the brawn, the size, but still have the physical ability to do some high impact. I don't want to say like a luchador where they have you're doing 15 Hurricane Radas or something like that, but they still have the flexibility to be an athlete. They're not just muscle bound.
He definitely is agile. Definitely.
And he has probably one of the most important things that is underrated in wrestling, and it's right here. He has a good mind for it. He has a great mind for it.
Yeah. He's definitely come a long way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has. But in the end, I'm going to have to – my pick is Drew McIntyre.
Well, once again, we are either going to agree or disagree because this is the third match, but we're going to agree. I don't think in this spot that this has any rhyme or reason that Goldberg shows up. I really don't. I think that the WWE's reaching. I don't know what for, unless it's going to be some kind of Legends match for WrestleMania for Goldberg, that they're getting them back into the swing of things. I know that they have to make so many appearances when they're under this contract, and he can still go. I mean, he can, but does it make sense for him to become champion again? What sense does it make? So in my mind, there is no doubt Drew McIntyre wins this match. The only thing I could think of now that I'm just reflecting in my mind is maybe Drew just needs that cred, and they need to have Goldberg as a so to speak, kind of a stepping stone. Or maybe this is a way to bring in somebody to pound on Drew McIntyre and get Goldberg not looking like a schlub.
Well, that brings up an interesting point that I'll get back to when we're discussing the Rumble about the Bill Goldberg aspect of this. Okay, so that brings us to our next match, which is the Tribal Chief, our leader, Roman Reigns.
With Paul Heyman while you get sick in your throat.
I love Paul Heyman. Why did he?
I do too.
Roman Reigns and KO, the Canadian the hot Canadian bacon, Kevin Owens. Love the match. Hate Roman Reigns, by the way, in case you guys couldn't tell. So this is really going to be a surprise who I picked for this one. But with everything leading up to it and looking forward from the match, I can't bring myself, whether Paul Heyman or Gandhi is his manager, to pick Roman Reigns. So I got to go with Kevin Owens. I just think with everything that they've been building up to this match, that it's going to be Kevin Owens, because like everything else, whether it be the Shield or whatever he's tried to do, Roman Reigns is failing miserably at being the Universal Champ.
That's only because he is Roman Reigns. But with Paul Heyman, it makes a world of difference. And the storyline is developed well, and we got a lot of like reaction from it. So Kevin Owens is your typical hero right now. Adam Pearce is trying to help him along a little. But Roman Reigns is still Roman Reigns, and he's the champion, and Paul Heyman makes everything seem to work out for everybody whenever he's the man. So I am going to disagree with you this time, brother. I am going to take the big chief or head chief or whatever, Chief Jay Strongbow. Not Chief Jay Strongbow, definitely not. But I am going to take Roman Reigns because of what I feel is going to happen in the future. I think he loses the belt before WrestleMania, but I don't think it's tomorrow or tonight. I'm sorry, tonight.
Yeah. Here's a spoiler for you. Who's injured worse, Adam Pearce or Paul Heyman?
Probably.
Remember, the card's subject to change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, really, I think that I think these matches so far are going to be decent matches. I mean, it don't look like it's going to be bad. My only concern is right now is Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. Just because of Goldberg's age, and Goldberg's never put on a very long match, and Drew McIntyre is a fighting champion, and has a plethora of arsenal in his repertoire. So I never used so many big words in one sentence in my whole life, but it's true. I mean, he has all kinds of stuff that he can do, and I just think it's a weird setup.
Yeah, Goldberg's kind of the Mike Tyson of wrestling. If you can get him out of the first 3 minutes, he's yours.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't seem to have the gas to go on much longer.
Right. Let's talk about the ladies' rumble there then.
Who's
interesting?
Who do we have for entrance in there? I mean, it's not as well defined as who's going to be in it, but who do we have already listed that's going to be a participant in the Rumble tonight for the women?
Right. There's right now, from what I've collected, I would say there's only about 13 of them. Nia, Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler, and Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, so the Riott Squad will be in there, Tamina, and Natalya. That's all I saw listed. I know that there's 30 ladies in this match, and I think I counted 13. So there's a whole bunch of surprise coming, without a doubt. Do you have any idea who you're thinking may be coming?
For my surprise entrant, I'm going to say it'd be a real surprise. Wendy Richter. No, my surprise entrant is going to be I'm kind of banking on a lot of rumors have left up to her making a reappearance, and they kind of were pushing it and backed off a little. I think Trish Stratus is going to be a surprise entrant.
Definitely agree with you there. Hey, I'm sorry, I did leave one out. So it was 14. I was just doing a quick count. 14 because number 30 is Naomi.
Yeah.
From what I heard or read, or I think you told me actually.
Yeah.
Naomi. So she'll be coming in the number 30 spot. And you're saying Trish. Some of the other names I thought might be coming. There's a chance. You never know. The Bella twins are out there. Lita, we'd love to see her. And we know that Matt Hardy's in AEW now. And I know that we said we weren't going to touch up on that at all. But I think that they would probably try and bring her in so he doesn't bring her into AEW. Becky Lynch, I know she just had a baby, but will she make an appearance tonight? Will she go in the Royal Rumble? What do you think?
I think she'll make an appearance, but I don't see her being in the Rumble. I don't see her being ring ready in a month.
Let me throw another name at you. Rowdy, Ronda, Rousey.
I think you could see Ronda Rousey tonight. But Becky Lynch, I think you got a better chance of seeing Mae Young wrestle tonight than Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I do like the Ronda Rousey aspect, and I think they've been pumping it up for her to make a pretty significant comeback.
There's been a lot of rumors out there with her too. I mean, that I know she left there because I thought they were going to try and have a baby. I thought she was trying to make that happen, and I don't know if they're on the struggle bus or they just decided to take a break. Maybe they were just going at it too much, and the raw dog, and just had to. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you ever stop? I don't know. I don't. I try not to. What about NXT? I mean, you and I, we both kind of never really get into NXT, and I suppose if we're going to do these, we're going to have to start at least brushing up on our NXT skills. But one name in my mind that sticks out that I think is going to be, I saw a thing on the network with her on it. Her name is Rhea Ripley. Tough bitch. Man. Yeah. I hope she shows up tonight.
I hope I do. I'm with you there. I have seen her, and she is, I don't want to say phenomenal, because that would be stealing off one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE, but she is phenomenal. And here's another one, and I know you're going to like this one too, to tease as somebody that's going to be a surprise, would be the master of the slingshot suplex's daughter.
That's right.
Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard. I think it's gone real dark, and we haven't seen too much or heard too much from her on social media or anything. I know that there was some stuff going on that was supposedly, she said, he said stuff, and I don't know how true it is, nor do I really, it's not any of my business. For me to even commentate or you to commentate on it is silly. To me, that's not news. That's just ripping somebody apart that maybe doesn't even need ripped apart. So I'm going to say this. I hope Tessa Blanchard shows up. I think that would be fantastic. I would much rather see her in AEW with her dad, but I think the Four Horsemen name is copywritten to the WWE, and I also think that the Four Horsewomen are definitely copywritten to WWE, and that, of course, was Charlotte, Tessa, Bailey, and was it Sasha?
Sasha Banks, the boss.
Yeah. So I think, do we see a reunion of this tonight? Could that happen? But then you got to get Bailey and Sasha back together, and I doubt that. But it would be neat to see Tessa Blanchard back. Also, I don't know if you know this, Jay. I was holding this for you because I just wanted to see your face. And I can't think of her name. There's two of them. Roddy Piper's daughter and Eddie Guerrero's daughter. Both are wrestling in the level where they could come up. I don't think they instantly become stars, but they could come up. I think they're in some kind of farm league where it's real close. And I think, doesn't Mick Foley's daughter, Noelle,
Yes,
wrestle?
she is tremendous. She is going to be a tremendous, tremendous athlete whenever she finally gets her break into WWE or whatever avenue she takes. But she is going to be a tremendous, I'm saying probably going to be go down in history as probably one of the best female wrestlers ever.
So,
barring injury or anything like that, but the groundwork's there, and she has the total pack. She's not Lex Luger, but she does have the total package going for her.
Yeah. Hey, any other surprises you could think of, or you want to just go strict to the picks?
Yeah, let's go to the picks.
All right.
So who do you got tonight winning the Women's Rumble?
Well, I think there's going to be a world of surprise. Like I said before, the women are killing it, and I love it. But I think the winner of the Royal Rumble has got to be Alexa Bliss.
Interesting.
I do. I mean, I love the whole persona that she's playing, and we're going to probably touch on this a little bit later, but will we see him tonight? And will he help her? Or does he just help her how he's been helping her the past couple? Here's another theory that I just off the top of my head, Jace. What if all three people that Alexa Bliss portrays while she's doing her segments show up and become participants of the Royal Rumble?
The Mick Foley aspect.
Yeah. Maybe that happens.
Could happen.
So I'm taking Alexa Bliss or one of her
alter egos.
Alter egos. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. Thank you. Who you got?
Who do I got? It's been a tough one for me because there's so many people I'd like to see win it, or sitting down thinking theory about, okay, if this person wins it, then they can play this line out. And I honestly, for no better rhyme or reason, that I think she probably I think has the best all-around chance with playing storylines out everywhere, is it's either going to be, I like Bayley, but don't count out one of the Bellas.
You think they can make a comeback?
I definitely think the Bellas are going to be here. And I'll tell you what, I saw them the other day, and they look good. They looked real good.
Did they ever not?
Well, there was this one time. No, I'm just kidding. No, They always did. But they looked ring ready. They looked ready to go. I'm going to go with Bayley or one of the Bellas.
Okay. I think your selection of one of the Bellas is off. They're so part-time. They have that show, and they both have kids. They both just got married. I think that they're going to be not long-lived.
When we go, well, let's jump into it, because with the Bella, you got the other half of the Bella. So let's go to the men's Royal Rumble.
Oh, with the other half of the Bella twin? You mean the first entry?
The guy I'm picking to win? Yeah.
So you think it's going to be like so you're saying this year's 2021 Royal Rumble winner, men's division, is going to be Daniel Bryan, starting out number one.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you think his wife's going to win, and they could be Mr. and Mrs. Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, if that happens on our next review of pay-per-view, right here on J Squared, Body Slams and Brews, I will chug a beer. Straight up.
Of my choosing or your choosing?
No, I can't, because if you pick anything made by a AB,
I was going to say, I'm going to give you a nice butt wipe.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I don't know if we're allowed to name any specifics, but we are this time. And if anybody
I
wants
didn't have a specific. I used the butt wiper.
No, you didn't, but you did when you showed your can. And
I'm surprised you could read it in my hand like that.
Well, it wasn't in your hand like that, but I turned my label around, and this is a nice independent brewery out of Oregon.
Oh,
I'm
just drinking the most fattening
it's
beer.
Actually, it's still a Christmas winter beer. It's very nice. It's called Jubilee by Deschutes. Says the men's rumble, number 1 Daniel Bryan, and then you got Bobby Lashley, our boy, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, Randy RKO Orton, his dad Cowboy Bob still sporting the cast, probably gonna make an appearance.
I think they're getting it reset this week.
Yeah. The guy with no purpose, Otis, The Miz, he promises to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase tonight too. We got to talk about that a little bit. We'll move on and we'll get to it. Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke, Nakamura, Big E, John Morrison, Sheamus, Mustafa Ali, Edge, King Corbin, Ray and Dominic Mysterio, Bad News Brown. No, sorry, I'm taking all of them from you. Braun Strowman, who made his appearance. And I was just reading before we started to do this, looked like Lars Sullivan made a comeback too. I'm guessing he's probably going to be there, which will be great because that'll give Braun somebody to have size with, Big E to have somebody to have size with. So there's more men listed now. We only are down to about 8 or 9 if you're counting Lars Sullivan or not, for surprises. I already threw out Cowboy Bob Orton and Bad News Brown. Any surprises for you, Jay?
Kofi Kingston? Has anybody heard from him?
He's out. He's definitely not going to make an appearance. Broken jaw will not be there.
Well, the doctor says the doctor can't go. Huh.
The first, this is the first Royal Rumble. He had the longest streak, and it's now broken because of this. So if he shows up, that would be really cool.
How about Xavier Woods? Is anybody heard from Xavier Woods? Is he at the airport?
He is wrestling, but no, I don't know if he's at the airport or he's making that show. It would be cool to see him in there because Big E's there, and it would be a nice little reunion. Maybe have Big E toss him over the ropes too. That would be neat.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see. But what about? Go ahead.
How about? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Bring a guy up you think might make your surprise appearance.
I'll tell you who I'd love to see show up. My one guy that I would love to see show up who volunteered to go back to NXT just because of the way that he wrestles and the dynamics of it all. He just fits better there.
Scott Steiner.
Big Papa Pump. Holler if you hear me. Yeah, I'm your big bad booty daddy. Absolutely. It's got to be Scott Steiner who's wrestling in NXT now. No! I'm talking about the Demon King, baby. I'm talking about Finn Balor. Let's see him just come back, please, one time. Let's get a WrestleMania spotlight. Let's see him do his moves. Let's see him crawl out. That would be fantastic to see. I would love to see Finn Balor today.
I love Finn Balor. I think he's been shorted over the last year and a half. I think he's a tremendous talent.
Let's have a cheers for that. Cheers of the day, Finn Balor.
I think Finn Balor's a very underrated talent. I honestly love watching Finn Balor matches. How about I know I floated this out to you before, and I know he was one of your all-time favorites. I know Edge is coming back. How about Christian and Gangrel? Do you think we could see a Brood reunion?
Oh, I would love to see a Brood reunion, but we were also talking about wrestlers who are overweight, and you had mentioned a certain wrestler had put on some pounds over the years, and I don't know if you know this, but Gangrel really, really has put on some pounds as well. So I don't know that we see him, but I agree with you. I think we see Christian tonight. Yeah, I would love to see that. What about Big Show? I mean, he hinted around a few weeks, past couple months that he could still go. Do we see him, or do you think he's done? Well,
I don't know. That's the surprise of the Rumble. I mean, it could be anybody. As long as they're technically, you could sign a one-day contract with WWE to wrestle in the Rumble, just for that quick payday. That's one thing I love about the Rumble, was seeing who the surprise entrants are. I think we could see him, but along those lines, how about CM Punk? Does he make his return?
You held that one. I would love to see it. But, more than anything, if we did see him come back, this is the one I would like to see him lose. I would like to see him not go straight to the top. I would like to see him have to fight his way back because of the way he is, his size, his talent. And can he still go?
Yeah. And is there a better mind-mouth combo on the mic than CM Punk?
Not right now. But before, I would say.
Yeah. But that's one thing that is sorely lacking.
Yeah.
Sorely lacking. When you have to bring in an advocate to speak on your behalf because you are a bumbling idiot.
That's pretty good. That is a pretty good imitation. And you said it pretty well. Here's a couple I had jotted down too. What about, actually, you told me this one. What about Kane?
And along with Kane, what about his brother?
I was just hoping you would do that in Paul Heyman's voice.
What, the Undertaker?
Yeah.
What about if we have Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, that could very well happen.
That's the one person nobody's talking about.
And
I used to be the advocate for one Brock Lesnar.
I think it would be pretty cool to see Brock Lesnar in there.
I think it'd be cool to see The Undertaker because everybody knows he's Mr. WrestleMania. So
how does he get
now,
there?
Back to what I was teasing you earlier with, what if Goldberg ends up winning and he's the champ going to WrestleMania, and then Taker ends up winning the Royal Rumble match and setting up the Legends match for all the marbles, because no matter what, it's going to end up getting vacated because and then you start a tournament. Then you start a tournament.
Oh, wow. So you say your prediction is Goldberg wins the gold, Undertaker wins the Royal Rumble, and then we have ourselves a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, and they wipe each other out at WrestleMania. And Goldberg's forced to retire. The Undertaker says, well, I was retired already, so I'll see you all later. And then you got a belt that's out here and you have to have a tournament, because then it brings you back around to the whole, I hate to bring up old past wrestling, but like when WCW had the 64 team tournament for the tag titles and the Mulkey brothers won the play-in, but unfortunately by winning the play-in, they had to face the Road Warriors in round 1.
Yeah.
And I think they lost in like 13 seconds.
Yeah. So the winner of the Rumble goes on to face a champion at WrestleMania. I'm gonna say The Undertaker will probably make his appearance tomorrow on Raw, as much as I would like to see him go in the Royal Rumble. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Kane's going to be there either. I think we're going to be, seeing somebody that we're just going to, you got that holy shit moment.
Yeah, Cowboy Bob Orton.
Like Edge last year. And I don't know that Christian would get that pop. I think Christian's there, but I don't think he gets the pop that Edge does. Christian had to go away to become what he became, I think. I mean, he did in the WWE somewhat, but then, he had to go away and make a name for himself. I really believe that. I wrote somebody down who I thought was going to pick, and then I just remembered who I was talking about last week on our short little Nerd Gang OG podcast. You can find that on, I'll go over the social medias with you, but it's Nerd Gang OG if you just search YouTube. And you can find it. But I did say, I think Cesaro wins. They've just been plugging him. And if you watch any bit of SmackDown on Friday night, that was awesome. We were watching it and texting at the same time like schoolboys. And I would just love to see that. Or what happens is, did that whole thing create something to build some hype for that Intercontinental title? Because if so, that would be good.
Well, Cesaro is a great, great talent. He is. But like the match we were watching the other night, that was damn near half a Royal Rumble. Right? It was a third of the Royal Rumble right there.
Yeah.
Loved it. I like Cesaro. I think that is a fantastic pick. But like I got to stick with my gut. I said number 1, I'm going with Daniel Bryan. I think he's going to win. I think that's probably in some strange way the way that McMahon's going to send him off for never having been anything in a Royal Rumble. I mean, he's done everything else. I mean, he was green before green was popular. I'm picking Daniel Bryan to win the whole thing. I know who won't win is one of the Usos because they suck.
Which one?
I don't care if it's Chief Jay Strongbow Uso or little Danny Uso down here at the soda fountain. I'm not an Uso fan.
What
a
about
lot of people are, and that's fine. I just don't like.
What about Spencer Uso?
Spencer Uso probably has the best chance because he has 4 legs.
Yeah. So before we get going, I think there's one more thing that we truly need to talk about. We gotta rewind a little bit to the Ladies Rumble. I don't think I saw. Lacey Evans is not listed on this. You think she's got to make some kind of appearance somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because Ric Flair, and the whole Charlotte thing, she's got to make an appearance of somewhat. The other thing I also wanted to bring up was Alexa Bliss, my pick. And I said, does she get help from him? And that being The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Does he show up at the Royal Rumble? Does he win the Royal Rumble? Does he ruin Daniel Bryan's chance? Does he throw Cesaro over the top rope? Does he come through the ring? What happens? Do we see the Fiend? Do the lights go out? What's it going to be?
Here's a good one. What if the lights go out for Bray Wyatt and then they go out again for Taker?
I think Taker before Fiend. Yeah, I think Taker before Fiend.
And that's interesting with the whole Braun Strowman, Braun Strowman and the Fiend.
And Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton.
How about Luke Harper?
He passed away, buddy.
Not Luke Harper.
Eric Rowan.
Boom.
He's released. He
Really?
actually, he was released. During the COVID times, they cut back a whole ton of wrestlers, and he was one of them. They kept it real quiet, and I don't think he's much of a social talker. But he showed up on that AEW's tribute to in AEW was Brody Lee, and WWE was Luke Harper.
Luke Harper,
great wrestler. I always liked him.
Yeah,
reminded me of Bruiser Brody, and everybody thought that, but he just had that nostalgia. Rest in peace, Brody Lee, Luke Harper, whatever you want to call him.
Has anybody heard from the Mad Guitarist lately?
Elias.
Yes. Not Jeff Jarrett. We're not putting flour in our guitar. I'm talking about Elias.
So Elias has been battling a little bit with Jeff Hardy, and then it kind of died down just so they can make more introduction to the Royal Rumble. I never think Elias gets a fair shake. I'm always rooting for him because he's a Pittsburgh boy, and he truly is a musician. But he brought out a guy from NXT. I can't think of his name right now. Sorry if you're ever watching this. I just can't think of your name. I'm not a big NXT guy. And he's kind of promoting him. Elias needs to be in a tag team because he's never going to get over any other way. Kind of like
Bobby Roode
and Dolph Ziggler never getting their fair share. And you got to put them in a tag team. I think what needs to happen with WWE is just build that credibility back with your belts and quit underselling power moves and shorten the matches a little bit. Have more. I don't want to say outside interference, but have more reflection to you have guys out there that look like stuntmen and have no storyline behind it. So they're all going 100 miles per hour. You're watching the show, and it's all great to watch these moves, but the in between is just nothing like it used to be, and that's what it needs to happen. It happens with the ladies. Why can't it happen with the men?
Well, here's a good one. Now, I know we grew up with around this exact same time. But one of the aspects that you used to tune in for, all the different WWF shows when they were out, Saturday Night's Main Event, when Heenan Monsoon had, when they used to have, the prime time on, it was, you'd hear them talk, which was great. But the backstage interviews and the backstage beatings that used to take place, that is what they need to get back to. When you had Piper's Pit, you had Adrian Adonis with the flower shop, you had the barber shop with Brutus Beefcake. I mean, who our age doesn't remember where it's like saying, I know where I was when the Challenger blew up. Who doesn't remember watching Jimmy Snuka getting coconuts crushed over his head by Roddy Piper?
Yeah.
Or a baseball bat getting taken to the flower shop and the whole set destroyed by Roddy Piper? Or Jake the Snake getting laid out and the snake getting put around his neck? I mean, that's something that's missing, because that's an aspect that is real and people can relate with. Somebody getting up from their 5th super kick in a match. A super kick was a finishing move. That meant one time you got hit with a super kick, you're done. Not, I'm going to take 5 of them and stand back up. No.
Yeah, now they're just kicks. They're not so super.
Yeah.
And Jace, they do some shows on there. Like Alexa has a show. That's pretty good. KO has a show. The Miz has a show. But I just think that there's some, like, they're just not. They're not as good.
My point of that is they're not as good because they try to do them in ring. You can't have them in ring. You got to have a small set up off to the side or in the back. You didn't have Piper's Pit in the middle of the ring. You'd have Piper come out after somebody came into Piper's Pit and did something to him and throw an epic fit in the ring. But the set was the set for Piper's Pit. You know, that just like, do you remember the Acolytes Protection Agency, where it was just a framed in door standing there and they were playing cards and drinking beer on the other side? Yeah. That was gold. I loved watching that.
Just playing cards, smoking cigars.
Just for the simple fact you could walk around the door, but you had to go through the door to talk to them.
Right on.
I mean, just small things like that is what's missing right now.
Yeah, and that's for another show. I'm glad we talked about that. I agree with you 100%, but maybe that could be our next line of topic. So we got again tonight Sasha Banks versus Carmella with Reginald. Asuka and the Queen, Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Drew McIntyre and Goldberg for the championship. Roman Reigns with...
not Roman Reigns. He's fighting KO with Paul Heyman.
And then you got your ladies' Royal Rumble and the men's Royal Rumble. Looks like it's going to be plenty of surprise. I love the Royal Rumble because they show up and they all love it. And God, it's been such a hard year with no fans. It takes away from it for sure. And there's no bad guys right now. They're all like good or bad. Whoever you root for is who you root for. And I think that has part of the problem to it. But tonight, it truly means you can root for whoever you want. I'll be rooting for Cesaro and Alexa Bliss, and I hope the Fiend shows up. And that's it for me. How about for you?
Like I said, I'm going with Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble from the number 1 spot. Never been done. And that'll give him his win. For the women, I still got to go with Bayley with the surprise. Like I said, that little plot of the Mr. and Mrs. Royal Rumble with Bella. Is it Nikki Bella? Whichever one he has, I'll go for the
Bella twins. Yeah.
The pretty one. Yeah,
they're the pretty one.
They're both pretty. I think it's going to be a great night of wrestling. And I think it's something that is truly needed right now.
Yeah, cheers to that, buddy. And on that note, we are out of here. Just remember, professional wrestling, the only true sport that's not fixed these days. Well, stay safe, stay healthy. You can tell us your picks. We would love to hear from you. We have a couple hours here yet if I can get this posted. But if not, just tell us who we're doing it before you see this. Our email is nerdgangog1@gmail.com. YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok are all NerdgangOg. If you want to snap us a picture, we're on Snapchat at NerdGang_OG. Twitter, we're NerdgangOG Tweets. And on Twitch, we're Nerd Gang OG as well. So a whole bunch of Nerd Gang OGs, but if you can't remember one, the email address, so we can send you links to all of our places. NerdgangOG1@gmail.com. We're probably the two oldest in the Nerd Gang, and that's probably the best way to reach us anyway, because we're super technological fellas.
Yeah, we're carrier pigeon.
Yeah, or send smoke signals. We want to thank you for watching. Don't forget, we do a podcast called Nerd Gang OG, and that's a big surprise. A few of our colleagues have some shows out there for you to take a watch too. So YouTube Nerd Gang OG, or email us nerdgangog1@gmail.com. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. I hope this wasn't too long. And we shoot this show. We record it. We do not stop for bloopers. You probably could hear my son Jaden in the background yelling, "Hi, Daddy." Maybe one time his dog Spencer barked, but that's what we're talking about. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Enjoy.